Hey, Roki, what's going on? Hold on. Can y'all hear me? What's going on? Hey, Roki. Completely understand. I appreciate you just coming in and checking in. Thank you. We're going to start in a minute. I'm just kind of hitting this a few more times and then take a sip of water. I guess I can get into announcements before we proceed with the last chapter of the book. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. Make sure, if you haven't already, to go ahead and check out my previous YouTube video. Now, I'm going to let y'all know right now, it's a little off the chain. So YouTube kind of had to age restrict it. So you have to sign in into your YouTube account and, and you have to be, I think, 18 years of age or older to watch the video. But I suggest that you guys go ahead and you guys take the time out to watch that. Please share it. I feel like the message is very, very important. There's a lot of low vibrating, negative, fearful thoughts and concerns when it comes to different types of people, in particular, Black and LGBT individuals. And I feel like we need to really start having these real ass conversations with people who do not agree with us. I don't want to have conversations where everything sounds like an echo chamber. Like iron sharpens iron. We need other opposing viewpoints to come and to bring forth their awareness, because that's going to help us find the gray area. I'm learning not to be afraid of having difficult conversations. I'm realizing that there's always a way to get your point across in a way that's meaningful and fruitful and life-giving. It doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to be derogatory. It doesn't have to be denigrating. We can really have conversations. But I think the more that we love ourselves, which is why I like reading this book and starting my book club, is the more that we love ourselves, the more that we will have patience and grace with us, our own selves, and therefore we'll be able to share that with other people. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and hit this a few more times, okay? Give me a sip of water, and then we're going to begin. Well, let me say this real quick, I guess, before we just jump in. This is BubzDaGawd, so my ass is free, okay? I'm going to freely be stuttering. I'm going to freely be saying probably some words wrong. Andrew Caldwell might try to push my tongue on some shit and put two words together. So if you're looking for a perfectly clear, concise, like flawless reading of this book, trust me, there are other YouTubers out there who will give you that. But I'm just doing this for the individuals that maybe they won't be able to reach. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing my part. That's all I can do is my part. So with that being said, give me 1 second, y'all. Well, I'm so glad you said that. Shout out to Roki, okay? Roki be on it, even when he be on break. Praise him. Look, yes, please do this. Please, the more you like and comment, the more my channel is pushed through the algorithms. Okay? This is not just my work on myself. This is for everybody. Everybody has got to do something, okay? And also this comment, shout out to the lurk gang. Let me explain something. Even if you lurking, you still loved. Okay, you still love. God's grace, mercy is sufficient enough to be able to cover those who don't even like your ass, who are triggered by your ass, who are um disturbed and upset by your experience and your existence. Okay, but even in the midst of them feeling that way, it's okay. You're still loved. In the midst of your ignorance, in the midst of your fear, you are still loved. Okay, there's just certain levels of love. Okay, and there are some hoes all the way at the bottom of love, girl, and then there are hoes that's making their way up to the goddamn top. All right, and no matter where you are in that spectrum, whether you're on top, the bottom, or in between, bitch, love is verse. Okay, love gonna give you all that you need, the top, the bottom, and in between. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this chapter, y'all. This is chapter 14. Okay, I'm so happy. Last few pages, and then we are done. This is chapter 14, the science of ascension. In this practice, no effort is lost. This is an age of fear. We are afraid of other countries, other humans, and ourselves. It is rare to feel safe ever, and no amount of physical manipulation increases our sense of security. Buying just one more set of bolts and locks for our doors does not much protect us from our neighbors. Building yet another and more advanced weapon system does not defend our borders so much better than we feel permanently at peace. Lacking firm conviction in our own invincibility, we turn to the external world with doubt, hoping against all logic and previous experience that we shall remain secure. But what is the essence of security? How does one become truly fearless? What are the mechanics of peace? The science of ascension involves a process of systematic unlearning, okay? Systematic unlearning. From birth, we have all from birth, we have all structured certain beliefs based on our own direct experience. If we are burned by a hot stove, we quickly learn to believe that fire can hurt us. We structure beliefs about the range of temperatures our bodies can safely withstand. We culture other beliefs about the nature of our bodies and how they can be damaged. Some of our beliefs are obviously useful to continuance of our physical lives. It is useful to remember how to drive our car without having to reread the owner's manual each time we sit behind the wheel. It is useful to remember which house is ours each time we wish to return home without having to ask our neighbors. It is usually useful to recognize our children when we see them. But it is also true that other beliefs are self-defeating and counterproductive. If we believe we are failures, this is the kind of experience we will continually draw to us. If we believe that life is hard, that we are unloved, and perhaps even unlovable, then we are unhappy, that we are unworthy. Will we experience an easy, effortless life of love and joy? Only by changing our underlying networks of belief can we hope to experience the future we, at least intellectually, would prefer. Unmaking or unlearning old belief patterns is extraordinarily difficult by consciously attempting to unmake them or change them. Unmaking or unlearning old belief patterns is extraordinarily difficult by consciously attempting to unmake them or change them. Any psychoanalyst will testify to the great difficulty inherent in changing even one self-concept through the traditional approach of analyzing the root cause of any abnormal behavior pattern. It may appear a gargantuan, highly frustrating, even impossible task to rewrite our personalities by consciously choosing to do so. For most of us, it might as well prove impossible. In this country, the high percentage of mentally ill people, both committed and uncommitted, is abundant proof that our modern society is not a healthy place in which to live. And this also demonstrates that our mental health practitioners are not successful in their chosen professions. I mean, ditto for the physical diseases that afflict the modern world. In ancient China, every physician was required by law to list on a placard outside his office the number of his patients who had died that year. The purpose of the physician was to heal. Only those who were successful healers were permitted to continue the practice of medicine. In the attempt to root out the source of the problems that cause physical or mental imbalance, a great deal of effort is wasted and the results are usually marginal at best. Doctors, counselors, and patients continue following this approach simply because nothing better has been widely available. But it is possible to change deep-seated belief patterns easily and effortlessly. This is done by the introduction of a few new seed thoughts. These seed thoughts have the unique and invaluable characteristic of systematically and effortlessly expanding the conscious boundaries of the individual's mind. Each of these seed thoughts has the result of unmaking past belief patterns that keep our lives from unfolding in a healthy and harmonious way. Each of these seed thoughts, correctly practiced, causes the entire range of the personality to become aligned with the most basic force in the universe. Any individual, any individual correctly practicing over a long enough period of time effortlessly and systematically rises beyond his previous restrictive beliefs and habit patterns into a new and much more beneficial style of functioning of his, her, their nervous system. The science of ascension is a systematic and graduated methodology for developing the mind. Ascension means to rise above. Now, what happens during the practice of ascension is conscious awareness, and begins to experience the higher states of appreciation of reality that lie hidden inside. What happens during the practice of ascension is that the individual rises above his or her or their previous state of conscious awareness and begins to experience the higher states of appreciation of reality that end up lying hidden inside. This creates a state of problem-free living. Now, problem-free does not mean challenge-free. Life does not become flat or passive. Problem-free does mean that inner stability is greater than any challenge from life. The inner creativity available for use is greater than any problem. Any challenge can be and is met and solved in the simplest, most graceful, and most beneficial way once this state has developed. The mechanics of ascension are quite simple. What is necessary is to learn how to listen, to the people in our universe, to our world, to our bodies, to our minds, to our hearts. Every moment of every day, we are being told everything we need to know to live in complete freedom, harmony, and joy. From fear, we usually choose not to hear. Our judgments of limitation, of good and evil, have chained us into small lives of pain and suffering. To be free, it is necessary to acknowledge what we have done and are continuing to do to ourselves to keep from listening. Bitch, can I say that again? That sounded so good to my spirit. From fear, okay, we usually choose not to hear. Our judgments of limitation, of good and evil, have chained us into small lives of pain and suffering. To be free, it is necessary to acknowledge what we have done and are continuing to do to ourselves to keep from listening. This can be a painful process, but it does not have to be. 4 Ascension Attitudes. There are 4 basic emotions or attitudes that lead to ascension: appreciation, gratitude, love, and direct cognition. There are thousands, even millions of specific applications of these 4 basic ascension attitudes. For example, any feeling of love for anyone or anything tends, to some greater or lesser degree, to cause the vibratory rate of the individual to rise, to expand the conscious capacity of the mind, to improve the health of the body, to decrease the boundaries of life. If you think of any time you have been sincerely in love, you will probably remember how easy it was to overlook the small surface flaws of your beloved and to focus on his, her, their perfection and beauty. This is an example of expanding awareness, but such occurrences are typically not consistent or powerful enough to transform life permanently. Even repeated and regular attempts to ascend through prayer, a form of the direct cognition ascension attitude, are typically not ultimately transforming to their life. The reason for this is not necessarily from any lack of commitment or dedication on the part of the praying person. There are usually 3 causes for this common failure. The first is the limited amount of time spent in prayer. If, for example, an hour a day is spent attempting to move to a higher vibrational frequency, and the other 23 hours are spent either staying on the same mental plane or going backwards, how can it be surprising that the attempts fail? Even if the entire hour is one-pointedly directed to moving higher, there are still 23 hours with quite a different focus. If 1 out of every 23 thoughts are directed upwards and the other 23 are directed horizontally or downward, can it be surprising that life doesn't quickly improve? The second cause of failure usually comes from conflicting desires. One part of the personality may sincerely desire an answer to a problem, but another part may, perhaps even secretly, be desiring the opposite. For example, a miraculous cure may be the object of the prayer, but were such a cure to come, the rest of the personality might be terrified, or it might not feel itself worthy of such a solution. I mean, why should God waste a miracle on such as me? In such a state of conflicting desires, no clear answer is the most likely response from nature. The third cause of failure is that should have the burp, sorry. The third cause of failure is that the content of the prayer is often simply not effective. This can take a vast number of forms. Of the thousands of possible applications of the 4 primary ascension attitudes, only a surprisingly small number are either extremely effective or universal in application. In the Ashaya's experience, approximately 108 of these are the best for everyone. Of these 108, 27 are all that we commonly teach, for these 27 are the most powerful, easy to use, and lead most directly and quickly to the desired goal. These 27 are taught by the Ashaya teachers of Ascension in a systematic and verifiable manner, with individual practice and progress interlaced with further instructions in the techniques. This way establishes tangible results as the strongest reinforcing agents for continued practice. Each of the 27 Ascension Attitudes possesses the quality of immediate feedback. That is, the effect of practice is immediately noticeable. The reason for this is that each of the the reason for this is that each of the 27 has the extraordinary and unique characteristic of allowing the mind automatically to continue ascending to even higher levels of experience and understanding. As such, even the first of the 27 Ascension Attitudes is sufficient to liberate any human being fully. The advantage of having more than one tool in the tool chest is that the mind sometimes tricks itself into activating slower loops. This happens primarily because of past desires and beliefs that life is or should be difficult and or painful. Having more than one ascension attitude is like an insurance policy. If the force of ancient habits is too deeply entrenched, and for most in this modern world it seems to be, more than one angle of ascension will be required. In our experience, it is extremely doubtful that any individual could resist the power of this small handful of 27 ascension attitudes for long. Now, this is true because each of the 27 has the inherent property of leading the mind into even higher rates of experience and understanding. Simultaneously, each of the 27 assists the mind to undo all of its false beliefs, fears, and imaginings. Each of the 27 wipes the slate of the mind clean while writing there a new script. The old internal programs cannot long resist the power and clarity of the new. The Ascension Attitudes involve no religious beliefs. Indeed, they involve no belief of any kind. They are universal. They violate no creed or established faith. They can be equally well practiced by the Christian, the Muslim, the Hindu, the Buddhist, the Jew, the agnostic, the atheist. They tap into universal human states and inspire ascension from wherever one happens to be. 3 qualities of ascension. Each of the ascension attitudes has 3 aspects. First, there is an emotional content to drive the experiencer inward. Appreciation, gratitude, love, and direct cognition. The second aspect is a direct alignment with the Ascendant. This unites the conscious mind with the infinite source within. The third characteristic, of each of the Ascension attitudes is a mental focus on one of the root areas of the individuality that is stressed and could be more fully lived. Understanding this description of the Ascension attitudes is much more difficult than the practice of ascending. Now, indeed, fully understanding the mechanics of ascension is probably impossible without experiencing it. The threefold structure of the Ascension Attitudes causes each of the 3 primary aspects of our personality, our hearts, minds, bodies, to move in the direction of growth. This process unwinds or loosens the deeply held judgments and beliefs that keep us bound to fear and restriction. But this is not simply a process of introspection to remove accumulated mental, spiritual, and emotional debris. This process is primarily one of effortlessly uncovering every more expanded states of awareness. Ascension attitudes are called attitudes because an attitude is a way of looking at the world. Ascension attitude, I gotta read it again, are called attitudes because an attitude is a way of looking at the world. They are not called ascension beliefs because there is no need to believe in the ascension attitudes for them to work. One does not need to believe that a carrot seed planted in the ground and properly tended will grow a carrot. Belief is not required. Belief is a powerful force which can be quite useful or destructive, depending on how it is applied, but it is not required to change the nature of our lives. Carrot seeds grow carrots. The seed thoughts of the ascension attitudes grow a new way of looking at and living life. Use of the ascension attitudes allow us effortlessly to rise beyond our previous experience of life into a state of problem-free existence. This is accomplished by aligning our limited individuality with cosmic universality. The underlying truth of creation can be named anything. Some call it love, some call it life, some call it the good, some call it nature, some call it universal mind, some call it the mother, some call it spirit, some call it truth, some call it the force, some call it beauty, some call it the higher self, some call it God, some call it source, we call it the ascendant. The name is supremely, okay? The name, girl. The motherfucking name is supremely unimportant. What is important is to stop blocking our perception of this level of reality. We do not have to open a channel to the source, to the universal mind, to the ascendant. We are already always connected. We have always been, we will always be. What is necessary, is that we begin to remove our self-destructive beliefs and behavior patterns that are blocking this experience from our conscious awareness. Once the blocks are removed, melted, transformed, transmuted, then we can make use of our birthright, our connection to infinite mind. The pipeline is already there. What is necessary is to remove the self-created obstacles in the pipe that are keeping the water from flowing. It is rusty from disuse. It is blocked by the accumulated debris of lifelong habits of denial and fear. But the metal is still sound. It can be cleaned relatively effortlessly, and then the precious water of life will flow once more, transforming everything of our life. The ascension attitudes are designed to clear out past beliefs and behavior patterns which inhibit full mental and physical functioning. By effortlessly introducing these seed thoughts at a deep and refined level of thinking, the entire structure of the mental framework gradually and gracefully transform to reflect reality. Reality spelled with a capital R is not the reality of life mixed with suffering, the common experience of most in the world today. The capital R kind of reality means that life is lived in joy and a with each moment. Your Andrew Carver trying to stop me, bitch. Back off, hoe. The capital R kind of reality means that life is lived in joy, with each moment experienced fully. Each opportunity is mined for its rich opportunities for progress, creativity, and love. An upward spiral of consciousness is created by ascending, A new structure of awareness is built upon the firm basis of the direct experience of reality. The Ascension Techniques are priceless for the modern world. The intense pace of life is simply too great to be countered without the power of a profound new teaching. These techniques revolutionize every aspect of life by introducing new experience of inner peace, deep rest, and stability. Ascension is extremely easy to practice and quickly frees anyone from stress. This opens life to maximum creativity, enjoyment, health, and success. We all started life with innocence and brilliance. It has taken us many years to cloud our minds with self-destructive beliefs and habits. But it is easy to begin to reverse this and move back toward the freedom and power of life in the present moment. Listen, worry and fear are not natural. They are artificially learned and maintained by our beliefs and judgments about life. It is not hard to deprogram ourselves from the hypnosis, of our past and cultural conditioning. It is not hard to deprogram ourselves from the hypnosis of our past and cultural conditioning. As an immediate result, life becomes easier and more enjoyable. Freedom from stress means that each moment is lived fully and completely. Every day is new with wonderful possibilities when we are no longer victimized by our past. The teachers of Ascension represent in this modern age an ancient teaching founded by the Apostle John in the first century of the Christian era. Nothing in Ascension is newly invented. Every technique for stress management and meditation taught by the teachers of the Society for Ascension has been practiced for thousands of years and has been verified to be universally true for all. And they have an epilogue here. I think epilogue. I think it's called epilogue. Okay? And they got an appendix, girl. We might have to read this shit too. We might read the whole thing. Yeah, we're gonna do all this, girl. We're gonna do all this. How many pages? What page is this? 183. Girl, we can do this. We gonna knock it out. We gonna knock it out. Okay. But before we knock it out, hey Amber. Hey Amber. Before we knock that out, I'm gonna go ahead and take another sip of water and go ahead and hit this shit again, y'all. Cause this, let me tell you something. Okay. I love weed. Okay, weed has been good to me. Okay, it has helped the nigga. Weed has been a supplementary for me that I appreciate. And I'm not going to apologize for using it, girl. It is what it is, bitch. Again, this is my life, girl, and it's helping a nigga out. So if it's helping a nigga, girl, I mean, ain't that the good thing? So I'm going to do that, take a sip of water, and then we're going to go ahead and get into this epilogue. It's a poem of life. And then we have this appendix that says the 7 spheres, the 27 Ascension Techniques. Yes, so we have to get into the Ascension Techniques because we can't talk about it. I mean, we can't read about it without talking about it, okay? And going into it further. So, yeah, I'm doing good, Amber. I'm hungry. My stomach is growling. My sister and her girlfriend down there making some, I don't know what it is, but it smells so damn good, okay? So we're going to hurry up and get through this. So give me a few moments and we will reconvene. ain't gonna hold you, Amber. A bowl of chili sound good right now. A good bowl of chili is really good when it's really cold. Like the weather here has kind of gotten a little bit warmer, so I'm a little irritated because I was so ready for fall. Like fall is one of my favorite, not one of, it is my favorite season. It's just perfect. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's a little chilly. I love it. I love it. And Halloween is my favorite holiday. So, Amber, like I said, girl, I'm ready to have a whole smorgasbord of food. When the universe sees fit for us to link up for real, I'm gonna have to go talk to somebody. They got a damn bridge card or food card or something. Be like, girl, can I buy $100 worth of food stamps? Cause baby, Chef Amber said she about to turn me into Chantel. Girl, not the fire alarm going off, Jesus. Not y'all burning the house down, Lord. Hopefully that's not piercing y'all ears. But baby, listen, I'm ready for the food, okay? Turn me into Chantel and Amberly and let me give them competition, okay? Let me show them how to really do it. You can be a real big bitch and still live saved. Amen. Hallelujah. I'm about to really start getting me some edibles for real. Baby. All right, y'all. Now we're going to get into the epilogue, whatever it's called. I think it's called epilogue. And it's called A Poem of Life. Okay? And who is this poem by? This poem is by John Donne. Is this the person who wrote the book? Yeah. Damn, girl, the alarm going off again, girl. Is somebody dying downstairs? Is y'all live down there? Girl, not Boosie badass and hire some fuck niggas to throw a goddamn Molotov cocktail through my goddamn living room window. Girl, about to let me pause and say, what the hell is going on? Let me put this up some, y'all. Oh, when I finally want to do it, now they want to cut it. Okay. Here we go. You got a poem, y'all. A Poem of Life. Maybe I should read this like Maya Angelou. In some lifetimes, I worked to create religions, philosophies, civilizations. I labored well. My products were beautiful, complex, and trustworthy. My works guided and protected the lives of millions. Girl, I'm giving her a southern accent. In other lifetimes, I realized that no organized structure, regardless how complex, true, or beautiful, could ever encompass all of life. And so, seeing the obvious limits and failures of any and every organized approach to knowledge, I labored to destroy them all. This resulted often in my own demise. For example, during the Spanish Inquisition, I was burned at the stake for opposing the church. And in Peru, my hands and feet were cut off for resisting the conquistadors. Girl, I get that bitch. That kind of stumped me too, Maya. I'm sorry, girl. Maya Angelou, I was trying to do a bitch, but that word kind of caught me off guard. I guess it's a conquistador. Girl, them peoples. Okay, come on back. Maya Angelou, come back. The horror of judgment and oppression is my own creation, none others. To force another to my belief was often my aim, but I have learned that forcing individuals to peace is not an answer. An enlightened friend of mine had a vision about me in the spring of 1972 in Italy. We were driving into Roma on a fine spring day when she suddenly turned toward me, looked at me with piercing eyes, and said, She had just seen me leaving behind a perfect but sterile and ruined castle in the middle of the Western Sea. She said she saw me standing alone on the shore, looking sadly back at the ruined structure. On the shore was the horrible smell, not horrible, girl, I try to say something else. I guess it's fecund, Fecund, girl, fecund, the smell of fertility. She said that the Mother of God was there, guiding me, protecting me. The relevant odor was her scent. I did not at the time understand her, for I felt it imperative to remain within the protecting walls of the castle of my beliefs. I was afraid that outside the castle lay chaos, that if I were to leave the protected turrets, battlements, and girl, with these fucking words, girl, colonize of a belief system that led to the Ascendant, to God, then I would be without the Absolute, because without God, hence a victim of dark and frightening real forces of evil, prey to the twin demons fear and hate. It was obvious to me that a great many, perhaps all, who did not attach themselves to a teaching, an organized body of knowledge and belief that leads to the heart of God, most or all of those who are not in such mighty castles are not protected from the snares and traps of the world. Those without higher aspirations of any kind often waste their lives in grotesque vices, which I shall recall Steinbeck observing in East of Eden, are nevertheless their best attempts to experience love. Girl, what? I felt discontented with my castle, and yet berated myself for this. I felt trapped for years, unwilling or unable to sever my connection with the magnificent teat of the castle, afraid of the rest of the world outside its extensive and well-protected domain. Afraid of being damaged, I huddled inside its well-guarded walls. Thinking it is possible to be damaged is a common human belief, but this does not make it true. Bodies may be damaged. Human bodies, bodies of knowledge, bodies of beliefs, bodies of organization, bodies of buildings. All these may be hurt or fail. Yet, what is failing? What is being hurt? All that is true and real is not, can never be, hurt or even diminished in any way. Whether human minds remain constantly aware of the truth is a different matter. But the truth shall always remain. Girl, these words. Sin. Okay, I feel like Aaron right now, girl. Sound it out. Scintillating, I guess is what it sounds like. Scintillating like a perfect jewel beyond the confines of time and space. After some years of this struggle, nature conspired against me to destroy my castle. In the space of 3 months, my home, family, status, position, and wealth were stripped from me. Lost and alone, I wandered off into the world and by great good fortune stumbled across an Ishaya, rarely traveling in the world, seeking, as if it turned out, me. My bone-chilling brush with death healed me. My terrible adversity led to glory. The wonderful teaching of Ascension was shared with me. A gift I could never have deserved was freely given to me. Life opened where I had anticipated only the terminal ruin of degeneration and despair. Girl, I feel like I'm mixing between Maya Angelou and goddamn Jacqueline Carr. I need you to stay with me, because you know her shit's deep too. One time, I was ascending with the Ashayas in the Himalayas with Nicki Minaj. I had a vision. All the great and beautiful castles of the world were standing embattled and alone, surrounded everywhere by the dark and rolling sea of mindless chaos. A handful only were in the castles. working to extend knowledge of the Ascendant, to increase truth and beauty in the world. The rest were in the outer darkness, laboring to destroy the creations inside, some with active malicious intent, but most from apathy, ignorance, indifference. Why, Lord, I thought, why permit this terrible war? At once, girl, these words, Bonagri girl, this is the hood version. Bonagri walked into, what's up, Bo? Walked into my room, sat before me, leaned forward and tapped me gently on my chest. My mind expanded. I learned that this ancient belief of mine was cutting me off from the largest part of the world. All of the world's current civil wars lie in this outer chaos, for example, as did the starvation and disease in Africa, as did all the embattled and rotting cities of our civilization. Are all of these unfortunates, are all of those unfortunates then relegated to hell? Bobo asked me gently. I saw his point. Many fundamentalist tenets hold this to be so. If you are not a fundamentalist Christian or fundamentalist Muslim or fundamentalist New Age person or fundamentalist whatever, you are certainly going to be eternally damned. And what of those who were born before their particular religion was born? Why, they must certainly be in hell already. Many answer their fears by trying to build their castle walls more strongly. They follow the dictates of the leaders of their belief system even more exactly, delve more and more deeply into the philosophical and underpinnings of the particular castle currently occupied. But the price they pay is horrible. For surrounding their castle on every side and beating ever more forcefully on its walls are the frighteningly real and evil seas of darkness, chaos, and despair. Girl, I sound like somebody passed a girl. This is an amalgamation, a mix of Maya Angelou, Jacqueline Carr, and a real good old Kojic pastor who take his time reading. Where was I at, girl? But instead of being then swamped by the boiling sea of chaos, the teachings inside the castle expanded to encompass all of the universe. Said another way, I remember then that the entire universe was my earlier creation, and all the castles of the earth were as the jewels in the crown of God's perfect love toward me, which is the same as God's perfect love towards you and everyone else. Teachings that bring about self-realization are not the same thing as self-realization. Yeah, no castle, come on somebody, is worth the price if it means life is divided between good and evil, or between life and death. Even the magnificent perfection of the Ashia's flawless science of ascension. They don't know about the science of ascension. Is nothing without knowing the truth underlying it. Gathering up of teachings is the answer. Let me stop. Let me finish it off as me. Gathering up of techniques is the answer for no one. Only direct experience of reality suffices to free life from death. Only full and complete enlightenment satisfies the life quest of a soul. No man is an island entirely of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the whole, a part of the main. If a clod be washed by the sea, Europe is the less, as well as if a promontory were, as well as if a manor of thy friends or of thine own were. Girl, that was a tongue twister. Any man's death diminishes me because I am involved in mankind and therefore never sinned to know from whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. All right, y'all, and we got one more part. This is the appendix, girl. We're about to get into the 27 Ascension Techniques. Now we can talk about what it is. You save the best for last, and these are pretty short. So, yeah, what page is this? This is... Oh, girl, it's going to go by fast, girl. We should be able to get this done like in maybe 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and take another sip of water, and then we're going to finish this book out completely. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of y'all for rocking with me. I love this. I'm excited for the book club. With the book club, I'm gonna figure out how we're gonna work that out because I do want y'all immediate feedback and hopefully maybe get you guys to come up on live with me, which means that I'm gonna have to once again stop being so damn frugal and shit, okay, and actually invest in StreamYard and paying for it. So, yeah, give me 1 second, y'all. Girl, who your cousin, girl? Let me know. Especially when I got the munchies. All right. Girl, this is so trapped, but you gotta start somewhere. Start somewhere. Start somewhere. Somewhere. Where? Ooh, that sounded so good. Sounds so good. Okay. This is the appendix, girl. We're getting into the 7 spheres, also known as the 27 Ascension Techniques, girl. I feel like I'm learning some old school kung fu shit, girl. How I'm gonna be able to beat the motherfucking Iron Master, girl, at the end, who can fucking everybody up. Now, the rate of progress in Ascension is individually determined, okay? So it's about how you apply it to yourself, especially when experiences come along and opportunities come along for you to do so. So look, you can't blame nobody else but your damn self, all right? For those moving quickly and smoothly, it is valuable to learn the 16 techniques of the first 4 spheres in rapid sequence. Every 2 weeks, a new technique can be acquired, and even the advanced and subtle techniques of the final 3 spheres can be quickly gained for those who desire growth above all else. In the final analysis, evolution depends entirely on the individual desire, how quickly one wishes to rise in the full development of consciousness. I guess this is the first. This is going to be the first of the 7 spheres, girl. Okay, girl, we're going to stop. It says root stresses, girl. Number 1, root stresses. The first one, praise. The praise ascension attitude corrects the fundamental stress of the modern world that something is wrong with the individual life. This attitude by itself is sufficient to generate full enlightenment. But because of most individuals' lifelong habit of strain and divided minds, more techniques will usually be required to perfect growth. Nevertheless, the attitude is sufficient unto itself and will usually prove the most useful for transforming the grossest levels of beliefs and judgments about life. This attitude, above all others, can be used at any time of the day or night when it seems that individual life is not progressing as well as it could. Number 2, gratitude. What's up, King Anubis? Similar in power for transforming the root stresses of modern life is the gratitude attitude. The focus here is on the objective world. This technique is designed to cure all erroneous beliefs and concepts about the body and the external universe. It is the master key for unlocking belief in the limitations of the body, in sickness, and in death. It is also the first stage in mastery of the outer world. As such, it is invaluable for healing disease of any and all kinds. Any and all kinds. Okay? Number 3, love. For many, the love attitude is the sweetest of the first 3. Yes, it is. It is designed to heal all the misconceptions about our relationship with the Ascendant itself. Together, these first 3 techniques are capable of removing all beliefs and judgments about the limited nature of the 3 primary divisions of human life: subjective, objective, and spiritual. These 3 attitudes together are sufficient for anyone to climb to enlightenment. Further techniques are for greater acceleration. Number 4, compassion. The 4th technique clarifies the relationship of the individual with all other human beings and animals. Invincibility in human life is the result of mastery of consciousness. This is based in harmlessness. Harmlessness is called ahimsa, in the ancient literature. Master of ahimsa means that no creatures ever have enmity toward you or will knowingly harm you. Harmlessness is established by the full development of compassion, which is the automatic byproduct of this technique. Universal compassion is the requirement for enlightenment from the standpoint of the Ascendant. Only those who have proven they will not abuse their power are given the key to the door of everything. Damn, that just read the shit out of me, bitch. Only those who have proven they will not abuse their power, okay, are given the key to the door of everything. The first 4 techniques are sufficient to establish perpetual consciousness, but the rate of growth will be slower than need be. As the body decreases in stress and the mind increases in clarity as a result of regular ascension, the desire will naturally grow to learn even more powerful and subtle techniques. Each sphere of techniques is greater than the preceding. Each sphere is more subtle and more powerful than the one before. They make a spiral of increasing experience, perception, and knowledge. One function of the advanced spheres is to develop the subtle energy centers in the body known in the ancient literature as the chakras, literally, and in the West, wheels of fire. The great wheels of fire. That's a ball of fire, girl. Fuck that. We want the wheel. Ezekiel saw the wheel. The chakras are scattered like so many jewels along the spine, starting at the base and rising to the crown of the head. Development of each of these 7 energy centers is required to bring about full enlightenment. Ascension provides an effortless and highly effective method for accomplishing this. The chakras locations in the body correspond with the location of the spine's major nerve ganglia. Among other things, the chakras control hormonal secretions, changes in circulation rate, changes in circular changes in circulation rate, girl, blood pressure, respiration, blood sugar level, neuromuscular excitation, girl, and the girl. That's why I'm not a doctor now, girl. I'd have been given all type of damn misdiagnoses, girl. The endocrine glands in the West. The memory of the chakra is retained in the image of the girl. Y'all doing me? It's the last part of the book, and y'all gonna give me all these words, girl. Caduceus, girl. Their traditional symbol of the healing arts. The open eagle wings, I guess they're talking about like when you look at a medical symbol for medicine, the staff with the snakes and the wings and shit. This is what it's talking about. The open eagle wings represent fully developed consciousness, the highest degree of enlightenment in the crown chakra. The staff represents the sushumna, the central channel in the spine through which the energy of life rises to bring enlightenment. The two serpents represent the two subtle channels that run alongside the sushumna, the Ida and the Pingala. The chakras are located where the Ida and the Pingala cross. The Ida and the Pingala originate in the base of the spine and the end in the sixth chakra, in the center of the skull. The Panglia is white and it carries solar energy and the forces of the day. This energy moves our consciousness upward toward the rational. The Ida is black and carries lunar energy and the forces of the night. Its downward movement takes us into the unconscious, where we experience regeneration and intuition. In the average person, life energy flows primarily along the Ida and the Pingala, supplying energy to the sense organs and faculties of awareness that maintain the illusion of the world. It is only with the awakening of enlightenment that the energy flows fully and completely up the central channel, the sushumna. When this happens, the chakras reverse their orientation from downward and outward to upward and inward. The chakras connect our consciousness with our bodies. In the waking state, the mind experiences chaos. At least 50,000 incoherent thoughts a day race through everyone's mind, many of them mutually contradictory, many of them desiring the useless or the impossible. The physical body attempts to respond to these chaotic thought patterns. The impossibility of doing this results in sickness, failure of the organs, aging, and eventually death. Most of our mental energy is literally thrown away every day in this self-destructive manner. Once the mind is free from the source of these 50,000 thoughts, the defenses, complexes, and addictive compulsions of our habitual beliefs and judgments, the energy of the complete consciousness rises up the spine, enlivening each of the seven chakras, resulting in inner silence. Girl, I am fucking up. Perfect awareness of the ascendant and complete and permanent bliss. Jesus. All right, title or subsection 2, the universe. Number 5, solar. The results of the solar ascension attitude is to begin to awaken the highest function of human consciousness, says Hasara, the thousand-pelted lotus of light at the top of the skull, the seventh chakra. Midharishi Pantajali, the author of the Yogi Sutras, circa 3000 BC, described the result of mastery of the solar attitude as knowledge of the cosmic regions. The cosmic regions are the 7 planes of existence or light that surround and permeate our universe of name and form. Master of the solar technique gives complete knowledge of each of these severally and individually. Girl, I hope I'm saying that right. It is also a powerful tool for the development of the highest degree of human enlightenment, unity, consciousness. Mastery of the solar connection opens one to the casual worlds. Upon death, this is where one goes. This is called the path of the sages. Number 6, lunar. The lunar attitude develops the intuitive power of the 6th chakra, Anja, the 3rd eye. Pantajali describes the result of mastery of the lunar technique as complete knowledge of the firmament. Another result of this attitude is the development of Soma, the glue of the universe that is responsible for the celestial perception of the 2nd stage of enlightenment, exalted consciousness. The moon is called the vat of Sama in the ancient literature because the focus of the moon naturally produces this molecule in the body. Mastery of the lunar connection opens the aspirant to the world of the virtuous, to the heaven of the forefathers, to the path of the gods. Leaving the body this way upon death takes one to the astral regions. This is considered a lower exit than a solar exit. The difference corresponds to different stages of enlightenment. Those dying in perpetual or exalted consciousness follow the path of the gods. Those dying in unity attain the path of sages. Number 7, Earth. The 7th technique is designed to facilitate the movement of awareness, so vital for the development of unity. It is also designed to remove the last of the separation between the individual and the universe. It is the obverse of the love ascension attitude and completes it. It is a protection from all accidents. The earth attitude creates a refined level of witnessing, the hallmark of perpetual consciousness, and assists in the development of the celestial perception of exalted consciousness, the 2nd stage of enlightenment. Number 8, peace. The 8th technique establishes peace with all of the relative creation, thereby further stabilizing harmlessness. It also has the effect of confirming the most important relationship of the individual with the source of all that is. The limited self surrenders to the infinite. This technique has the effect of stabilizing the only correct relationship with the Ascendant. This naturally results in a much faster rate of progress. It is also a key to the ability to fulfill all desires and dramatically develops celestial perception. Subsection 3, the body of the Ascendant. Number 9, beauty. The 9th technique bequeaths the experience of the reality of the most important aspect of the Ascendant. It also develops soma and celestial perception. With this complete mastery, the 2nd stage of enlightenment is permanent. Number 10, light. The 10th technique focuses on the inner petal of the 6th chakra, the petal that develops perfect intuition. Mastery of this attitude gives complete knowledge of all that there is to be known and assures perpetual consciousness. Number 11, strength. The application of this attitude structures the ability to heal any disease of the aspirant or of anyone else. It also develops celestial perception and exalted consciousness. Number 12, silence. The 12th technique stabilizes immovability of infinite awareness and further establishes the relationship with the supreme quality of the Ascendant. It also has the effect of opening the first or root chakra, Muladhara, girl, these names, which is located at the base of the spine. Subsection 4, the body of love. 13, mastery. The 13th technique develops perfect mastery of the body and the world. It complements the 11th by bringing out the full ability to heal the body. Pantajali said the result of mastering this attitude is complete knowledge of all bodily systems. This attitude develops the third chakra, the navel chakra, Manipura. Number 14, power. The 14th technique masters desire. In its final development, it bequeaths the ability to manifest the form of all words. Anything that is spoken comes to pass. This attitude develops the fifth chakra, Visuddha, located at the base of the throat. They're gonna whoop my ass for fucking these words. Number 15, center of my joy. This attitude develops celestial perception, exalted consciousness, the second outer petal of the sixth chakra, Anja, and continual awareness of the most important aspect of the Ascendant. It also develops a refined ability to use the intellect and stabilizes the power of intuition. Number 16, Invincibility. The 16th technique develops the unchanging reality of perfect love. It is the first direct application of awareness to the all-important fourth chakra, Anahata, the heart chakra. This technique develops the relationship with the power of the Ascendant and the full perception of the most refined qualities of the Ascendant. As such, it is a highly powerful technique from the development of the second stage of enlightenment, exalted consciousness. Subsection number 5, glory. And number 17, glory. The 17th attitude further refines the sixth chakra, Anja. It develops the Sat, or absolute, quality of the Ascendant and connects the individuality with the perfect essence of truth. This attitude also refines the development of the sixth attitude by firming the relationship with the path of the gods, the lunar path. Number 18, bliss. The 18th attitude develops full use of the Sushumna and further refines the seventh chakra, Subhashrara. Girl, forgive me, y'all. Charged to my head, not my heart. It develops the Ananda bliss quality of the Ascendant by connecting the individual with unbounded joy. This attitude also refines the development of the fifth attitude by firming the relationship with the path of the sages, the solar path. Number 19, life. This attitude opens the doorway to imperishable physical life. It also develops Amrita, the molecule of immortality, and the second chakra, Shishvit, girl, with that word, which is associated with the sexual organs. It is the essence of mastery itself. For the full development of this attitude bequeaths the ability to transform the consciousness of others through the movement of your unbounded consciousness into theirs. Number 20, wisdom. Mastery of this technique results in the stabilizing of the refinement of unity consciousness known as all-knowingness. Subsection number 6, revelation. Now note, a highly refined level of consciousness needs to be achieved before these final techniques are learned. Revelation techniques directly reveal the underlying nature of reality. Number 21, connection. Mastery of the first revelation technique gives full knowledge of the connection of the soul to the Ascendant, the qualities of the soul, and the qualities of the Ascendant. Number 22, distinction. The second revelation technique is designed to burn away whatever is left of the limited individuality by diving directly into the heart of the Ascendant. Number 23, characteristics. The third revelation technique develops perception of the infinite light of the Ascendant in all its varied forms. Number 24, faith. Mastery of the fourth revelation technique develops complete knowledge of faith and perfect one-pointedness of attention. Number 25, eternity. The fifth revelation technique stabilizes the highest degree of awareness of the cheat consciousness value of the Ascendant. Number 26, the thread of souls. The final revelation technique develops complete awareness of the Sutra Atman, the connecting link between all souls. And subsection 7, Brahman, Brahman, Brahman. Number 27, and last but definitely not least, omnipresent splendor. The final technique ties all the sundered parts of the personality together in the Ascendant to establish unity permanently. The seventh sphere also contains the advanced techniques for the 18th and 19th attitudes. Collectively, these are known as immortality techniques. Oh yeah. And y'all, we have completely finished Ascension. I am grateful to have done this with you guys. It's even helped me when it comes down to this type of content, which I believe will be able to help people again universally, not just in a certain type of context like religion or Christianity, but something that transcends all of that permeates all of that, and that is fair and real and true all the time. One thing I was dealing with was, of course, the numbers for these videos. Whenever I'm doing something that's kind of more low vibrating and shady and stuff, that gets more views, and that's okay. I understand that's a part of life, and I'm tapping into that energy too, because once again, you got to be able to bring the people in. But sometimes I would get discouraged when I would see the views on these type of videos, because it's like, wow, these are the videos that actually are about helping people, and it once again just shows the state that our world is in. But most importantly, what I'm learning is that in the midst of all that, to continue to love myself, because when you love yourself, you will find people that love you. And I have such amazing supporters. There are people that come into my chat all the time that I know by name, who I really appreciate. Like, you guys didn't have to rock with me during this stuff. You didn't have to check on this. You didn't have to check on me and see what's going on. But I appreciate y'all. And even if it's just one person, it just reminds me that I have a purpose. And you never know how powerful and how amazing and wonderful that one person can be. Okay? So all I want to do is just do my part. And I'm going to show up as BubzDaGawd. Okay? I'm showing up as me. And some people ain't going to like it. Some people ain't going to agree. And that's perfectly fine, girl. It's not required. What's required is my viewpoint of my life. And I want to be able to have the most aligned, best viewpoint that I can have. And when it's your best, it doesn't just benefit you. It benefits so many others. Basically everybody, even those who hate on you, even those who don't even know you, girl, and they feel pressed by your energy, feel intimidated by your energy, girl, it blesses them too. When you walking in love, it blesses everybody. Okay? So anyway, thank y'all. I really appreciate it. My stomach done growled like 20,000 times during this damn live, bitch, because I got the munchies. I hope that you all have the rest of a wonderful Thursday and also a wonderful fucking weekend. And also, please, once again, please, if it's one thing I want you to do this week for me, please, is please like and share and comment on my most recent video. Not this one, the one I did with Lance Scurv and Bootsy and LGBT. Y'all, I spent a long time on that video. Shit, my damn neck was hurting, back was hurting and shit because I was so into it. But I feel like the message is very important. And once again, I'm here to share information. That's one of my things, like here on my body graph. What does it say? What does it say? Hold on. Girl, what does it say? Girl, my strategy as a manifester is to inform. And now that I know that it's verified to me, oh, that's what I'm gonna do. So my videos are gonna be kind of, I'm gonna have to do more of those type of videos, more commentary videos like that, to kind of bring in the facts and still be BubzDaGawd. But I'm excited. I'm excited, and I'm walking by faith, y'all, which means I'm learning to just go with the flow, and that's such a scary thing. But once again, learning to let go of those habits and unlearning those habits and creating new ones is where you're going to shine, and where I'm going to shine, and where we're all going to shine. So I'm just going to do my part. Again, thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it. And until next time, everybody, peace. And y'all rock out to these vibes.